Okay, so this is a rundown of the state of my rig as of June 2023. My drum slash guitar slash bass slash vocals band, one-man band, improvisation, clusterfuck with digital enhancement via laptop. Okay, so I tried out a bunch of different configurations with drums, bass, and guitar, having things laying on the drums, having things propped up in various ways, wearing certain things, not wearing them. The current way I like doing things is to wear the guitar pretty much all the time. So this is my Tele 6-string, tuned mostly in fifths. Then my bass is pretty much permanently affixed as part of the drum kit in a way. Just when I want to throw in some low bass notes, I can either hit it with my hands, I can tap it, I can hit it with my drumsticks. It's not precise, but it adds a cool characteristic to what I'm doing. Okay, so if I was playing, I'd be wearing my guitar, just like anyone would normally wear a guitar. Sitting here at the drums, which aren't that out of the ordinary. It's a 22-inch bass drum with a double pedal, 18-inch floor tom converted to a bass drum, 14-inch snare drum, hi-hat with a two-legged stand so it can fit on all this, old Zildjian 22-inch cymbal, 16-inch floor tom, and a 10-inch rack down low right next to the floor tom. Junk cymbal stack, and then the icing on the cake, or maybe the cherry on top, I don't know, is this china I threw in up high just for occasional use. You can see most of the hand stuff I'm playing with my hands on the drums is on the right side. That's because I'm generally fretting the guitar with my left hand, so I haven't had much use for cymbals on the right side. I'm sorry, the left side. Okay, so guitar and bass go into this patch bay here, where the signal passes through unaffected and is also split into my Focusrite interface here, so I can do digital things with it. More on that later. In addition to splitting the signal, the patch bay just makes things nice and modular, so I do intend to perform out with this, and just having a little rack mounted setup like that for digital from past experience will make things really easy if I can just patch it in and be ready to go in a few seconds. From the patch bay, the guitar passes through this TCA Electronics delay and looper, which I mostly use as a looper. It's not a very precise looper. I can't do any kind of quantization or anything like that with the loops. I basically use it when I just want to quickly add a little bit of texture. Okay, so from there, guitar and bass both run into my hand-operated pedal board here, sitting just to the left of the kit. Right now I'm sitting at the drum throne, and everything's really accessible. Some of this stuff is only guitar, some of it's only bass, and then I have a left and right 2-cab stereo setup. Some of it goes to certain cabs, and some of it runs in stereo. I'll just give a quick overview. So the gate is only on the bass guitar. Excuse me. Gate is only on the bass guitar because the bass is just sitting here on the drums, and it creates a lot of ambient noise, which sometimes is nice. I can just shut it off for that, but most of the time I don't want all that noise coming through my system. Compressor for the guitar, because I'm playing all kinds of different ways. Sometimes I'm strumming, sometimes I'm tapping, sometimes I'm scraping the guitar with my stick, so it's really dynamic. Pog, I believe, is only on the guitar. And then from there, guitar and bass are combined, and I have the left and right side. So the right side is a solid state 210 bass rig, which is very clean sounding. So I'm pretty much running this Sans amp all the time to give it a little bit of grit. Also, only on the right side is this more synth pedal. I like this only on the bass side because on both sides it's a little overpowering, I think, and it's just got a better, most of the patches sound better through a bass amp. Same thing with the Swollen Pickle. I just like it more through a bass amp. On the left side, the guitar amplifier side, it's a Laney half stack. I have my Phase 90 and this Rev, which I don't need that often since I am running through a tube amp, but it's nice when I want some feedback. I can just kick it on and crank up the gain, or if I do want a higher gain sound, it's good for that. TC delay and TC reverb are both stereo, so this is the end of the chain. They run into the delay and then the reverb, and then the left and right go out. There's the Laney guitar rig on the left side. Here's my Ampeg 210 with a Crown solid state amplifier on the right side. Okay, so as I mentioned, the guitar and bass signal are split in the patch bay. I also have all the drums mic'd up, but that's mostly just for demoing. In a live setting, I would just rely on the sound guy to mic up the drums, except that I'm splitting the snare drum mic and the vocal mic using these little Whirlwind splitter boxes, so that those could go to front of house sound and also into my digital setup. Digital setup is fairly simple right now, although conceptually it's a little complicated. I'm still figuring out exactly what I'm doing. But I have this Akai MIDI controller. I have this smaller Akai MIDI controller on a long USB cable that I can throw on the drums and use. I've been using it lately to control a looper. There's definitely a lot of different things I could do with it, but obviously not when I'm actually playing the drums, but there's a lot of dynamic to what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm playing the drums like a drummer, sometimes I'm playing with my feet, sometimes I'm just tapping on the rim of the tom, sometimes I'm playing more like a guitar player. All of that I'm figuring all of that out. So then within Ableton, I've got the guitar DI, the bass DI, the snare drum split, and the vocal split. And all of that is independent from my guitar setup. So once the guitar splits in the patch bay, it is completely independent of the digital setup. If my laptop crashed or something, it wouldn't kill my guitar signal. I'd still be using the pedal board and my amps and everything. So the digital setup actually would run through a PA, and I have a little basic PA setup here. And this is sort of like soundscapey stuff that I'm using since I am doing a one-man thing. It's nice to have some extra sounds to fill out what I'm doing. So currently I'm still working out exactly how all this is going to work in Ableton, but yeah, I'm just trying out all kinds of delays, reverbs, loopers. I want to do some automated things to chop up so it's not just an endless stream of ambience. I want to have some more syncopated sounding things. I'm not sure, probably some of what I'm doing I'll play to a click track. Some of it I definitely won't. I don't want to be entirely locked to a grid all the time, but that's actually currently what I'm figuring out. So that is where it stands right now. As of right now, I can sit down all of the non-digital part. I can play, to the best of my current abilities to play this crazy setup. The digital part is coming along behind all of it, and along with that is some songs that I've been writing. Cool, thanks.